welcome back to another video on my Mercedes SL500. I'm going to paint the interior pieces of the Mercedes. You can see them here. It's on the A-pillar and on top of the window frame. I already did a few steps. What steps did I do? Of course, I took them out of the car. I used leather ultra clean and a dry sponge to clean the pieces. Then you need a moist rag to clean off the excess, and you need a soft sponge of 1000 to rough up the leather a little bit like this. You're not supposed to sand it all the way down, just a little bit on the rough side, and I will be showing you also the next steps on how to do it. To paint this, I'm using a Badger airbrush on a standard compressor, nothing special, but my advice would be to either use a airbrush with a large tip or to use a paint gun with a 0.8 millimeter point tip on it. Not bigger, because the intention of painting the interior is that you give many layers but really fine, so you don't get a thick coat on it, but you get even coats on it so that the paint better sticks. So what I'm using for paint is normal navy blue from Future Clinic. I use all of their products here. Excuse the mess a little bit, I'm working on the car, and this is my put everything down on this desk way of working. And I'm using also this Spiritus to clean the parts before I start painting them. So as I scuff them up, the next step would be to clean with the Spiritus and to set up the airbrush and start painting. And as soon as I get something done, I will come back to you. So this is the pieces painted. You can see it's just freshly painted, so it's still a little bit wet, but the end result will be very flat color blue. And the reason why I'm painting the complete interior, because I also have a cracked dash, and I will be repairing the cracked dash. And I would like to have everything in the same color. So that means seats, door cards, all of the panels, the kick panel, the rear panel. So everything will be painted in the same color. You can see here that the result is actually quite nice. Where you used to see a little bit of the whiting going on through the sun. You can now see that everything is one solid color. So this is basically how you paint it, and I have an example of craquelé after. So this is a prime example of craquelé, dry tears on leather. This is the center console armrest, and you can see here pretty heavy craquelé. And obviously you cannot paint this without fixing the craquelé. So that's what I will be doing next. For this, I've bought a special kit, which is from a furniture clinic. It's called a leather repair kit, and basically it's got everything that you need to repair your craquelé or your torn leather. You have some bandages that you can put behind the leather in case you have a hole. You have a small knife if you want to cut away some of the excess. You have the heavy leather filler. That is basically what we're going to use to fill in the craquelé. You also have a leather glue PU. That is what you use when you have a hole and you want to glue the hole shut with this mesh here. And you have a spatula. And the spatula you will use to smooth out the heavy filler over the craquelé before you actually paint it. The craquelé is actually very fast drying, It's also sandable after, so you may need to do a few passes on it to make it look really nice. But this is basically the products that I will be using. So now I did the first pass with the heavy filler and the spatula. As you can see, the intention of the first pass is really just to fill up the craquelé, and you can do as much of it as you want. I sanded it down quite heavily because of the craquelé is kind of high. You can see a bit of discoloration here, but once you start painting the armrest, that will all go away. So this is actually heat activated, so you can, if you want, use a paint stripper or a hair dryer and heat it up a little bit. Make sure you get a safe distance and accelerate the drying process. After this, you sand it down with 1000 grit soft sponge, and then yeah, I lost the word. But at least you sand it down with P1000 soft sponge, and then you apply it again. So after sanding down, you can now see the second pass. The second pass is a lot more thicker than the first pass. Like I said, the first pass is really intended to fill in the craquelé. The second pass, third pass, fourth pass, whatever you need, is to smooth it all back down. So heat activated, dry it with a hair dryer, and then sand it down with a scuff pad. Make it all smooth. In case you need another pass, just go ahead. And this will stay flexible, so there is no problem in using a good amount of it. By the way, with this small jar here, you can do a very long time, and you can do a lot of craquelé and a lot of seats. I just barely use the amount of a pinky fingernail to do these two passes, and it's really plenty. So you know what to buy. You can now see here the finished product. You can see the A-pillar and the roof trim pieces, and you can also see the center console all in the same color. It's dry now, so I think the flat blue look of it is amazing. You can see that it's all equal color, and I think if you paint the complete interior with this, it's an amazing improvement. In terms of materials, I paid about 180 euros or $200 for all of the supplies to fix this, and my next job is to fix the dashboard, especially focus on the cracks in the dashboard, and completely repaint it in the same navy blue original Mercedes color. Thank you for watching.